The film begins with Kylie Bucknell, a young woman who tries to rob an ATM machine with a male accomplice. The robbery fails miserably when the machine malfunctions, and Kylie gets caught after a series of clumsy mistakes. In court, instead of being sent to prison, the judge sentences her to 8 months of house arrest at her mother's home in rural New Zealand. Kylie is furious. She doesn't get along with her mother, Miriam, who is overly chatty, nosy, and has a habit of gossiping about everything. Once Kylie arrives at the house, she immediately shows how frustrated she is. She insults the place, ignores her mother, and generally acts hostile. The house itself is old, creaky, and full of strange noises. Miriam insists the place is haunted, but Kylie mocks her, saying she's just being paranoid. The electronic ankle bracelet is fitted on Kylie, and she is officially trapped in the house with her mother and her stepfather Graham, a quiet man who spends most of his time watching TV. Strange things begin happening almost immediately. Kylie hears noises in the walls and objects falling without explanation. At first, she dismisses them as the old house falling apart. But then one night, she hears what sounds like someone moving around upstairs. She investigates and finds a teddy bear that suddenly plays a creepy recording when she squeezes it. Disturbed, she throws it away. Miriam insists she has experienced these strange things for years. She tells Kylie she once heard voices in the night and saw objects move on their own. Kylie remains skeptical, though she clearly begins to feel uneasy. One night, Kylie gets spooked after hearing the laundry door slam shut on its own. She goes to investigate and finds the washing machine running by itself. When she tries to open the lid, the machine shakes violently, scaring her. This rattles her enough that she actually calls the security monitoring service. Amos, the security technician, arrives at the house. He's quirky and awkward, but he listens carefully to Miriam and Kylie describe the strange events. To Kylie's surprise, Amos doesn't laugh at them. Instead, he admits that he believes in the paranormal and thinks the house could indeed be haunted. He even claims he has training as a psychic investigator. Kylie scoffs at this at first, but Miriam is thrilled that someone is taking her seriously. Soon after, Kylie has a terrifying experience of her own. While alone in her room at night, she hears someone whisper her name. She looks around but sees no one. Then her blanket is tugged slightly, as if someone invisible is pulling it. Terrified, she hides under the covers until morning. The next day, she pretends it didn't happen, but it's clear she's shaken. Amos begins hanging around more often, setting up equipment to detect paranormal activity. Miriam encourages him, while Kylie tries to act uninterested, though deep down she's starting to believe something is wrong with the house. Things escalate when Kylie discovers a hidden panel in the basement wall. Behind it, she finds an old children's toy and evidence that someone might have lived down there in the past. The atmosphere becomes darker, and Kylie starts to seriously question whether the house holds some disturbing secret. After Kylie finds the strange items hidden in the basement wall, she starts thinking the house may have a dark past. She does some research and learns that years ago, the house was used as a halfway home for troubled kids. Even more disturbing, a brutal murder once took place there. A teenage girl was killed in the house, and suspicion fell on a mentally unstable young resident named Eugene. According to old reports, Eugene vanished after the crime, and many believed he either ran away or was locked up. Kylie begins to connect the strange noises with this story. She suspects that Eugene might still be in the house, hiding somewhere within the walls. At first it sounds ridiculous, but then she notices signs that someone has been moving through crawl spaces and behind panels. One night, she and Amos investigate further. They discover a hidden crawl space with evidence of someone living there, makeshift bedding, food wrappers, and old belongings. Kylie is horrified, realizing she and her family may not have been alone in the house all this time. Things take a shocking turn when Kylie actually encounters Eugene. Instead of a dangerous murderer, he turns out to be a reclusive, mute man who has been secretly living inside the house's walls for years. Eugene communicates with gestures and drawings, and though he seems odd and unsettling, he doesn't attack Kylie. In fact, he tries to warn her about something else. Kylie slowly realizes that Eugene isn't the threat, the real danger is closer to home. She begins to suspect her stepfather Graham, who has been acting strangely distant. When she presses him, he grows defensive. The tension explodes when Graham attacks Kylie, revealing himself as the true killer from years ago. He murdered the girl in the house and framed Eugene by making it look like the unstable boy was responsible. Eugene hid in the walls to survive, too afraid and powerless to expose the truth. Graham becomes violent, trying to kill Kylie to keep his secret buried. A chaotic fight erupts throughout the house. Miriam, despite being frightened, steps up to help her daughter. At the same time, Eugene leaves his hiding place and intervenes, showing courage despite his reclusive nature. In a suspenseful climax, Kylie and Eugene manage to overpower Graham in a messy, violent struggle. Graham is finally taken down, and the horrifying truth about the house is revealed. When it's all over, Miriam is shaken but relieved. Amos is proud of Kylie for surviving and admits she's stronger than she thinks. Kylie, after everything, finally begins to soften. She no longer mocks her mother, and for the first time, there's a sense of real connection between them. The film ends with a strange but heartwarming moment. Eugene, no longer hiding, quietly joins the family, almost like a bizarre new housemate. Kylie, instead of rejecting him, accepts his presence. The old haunted house is no longer just a prison for her, but a place where she begins to understand herself and others. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more amazing movie recaps coming your way.